Hello, race fans. Welcome to another episode of Short Track Guys Podcast, brought to you by ShortTrackExclusives.com. I'm your host, Thomas Faddis, alongside two other short track guys, and you know them well by now. Jim Pokrant, driver of the 07, Can'tQuitFishing.com sportsman and 2021 sportsman champion here at Five Flag Speedway in Pensacola, Florida. And Ted Baber, Ted Baber Video Productions, also locally here at Pensacola, Florida at Five Flag Speedway. What's up, guys?
What's happening, sir?
We're just having fun.
Yeah, we've got a list going on tonight. We've got a lot to catch up on and a lot going on this weekend. We've got a Snowball Derby entry, a Snowflake entry update for you. We're going to catch up on from last week. We've got a few big names that have been released, but we're going to release them to our fans and our listeners. And we're going to get into a tire situation that has just been released as well. But before we get into that, I just want to back up a little bit and get out a Snowball Derby pageant update on the 19th of November, downtown Pensacola, Seville Quarter. You can contact Taylor Griffin at msdpageant@gmail.com or go to the fiveflagspeedway.com website and get in touch with them and get involved. It's becoming bigger and bigger daily. So, again, that is Taylor Griffin at Snowball Derby Pageant at gmail.com. You can get in touch with them or just the website, fiveflagspeedway.com, for more information on that. And right now we're going to switch it to Ted. Ted's got some updates on some big names that have been released, but we're going to officially release them for Short Track Guys podcast from the Snowball and Snowflake entries.
Well, that's obviously the biggest names that everybody's talking about right now are Eric Jones and Ryan Preece, and they get a lot of discussion. And I wanted to back up just a little bit and see if we could find anybody that we really haven't talked about, and I found two. But everybody else is it's just a huge list of names. If we didn't want to be here all night, we could go through each individual name. But I'm of the opinion, let's just try doing the last names down the entire list and see how many people can fill in the blanks. Starting from the top, alphabetical order by first name. Get ready. Here we go. Pollard, Hocevar, Johnson, Smith, Clark, Smith, Purdy, Butcher, Okrezik, Heim, Fredrickson, Dye, Kraus, Thorne, Griffith, Jones again, Entfinger, Robbins, Hanson, Finch, Garcia, Choquette, Storm, Doss, Love, Noland, Bolin, DeAngelis, Honeycutt, Connor, Bryant, Plott, Tissot, Thinhouse, Craig, Hind, House, Garvey, Peltier, Bickle, Royce, Crane, Preece, Smith, and Nassy, and Majeski, and that's just last names only of all the entries so far in the Snowball Derby. On the other side of the coin, we got the Snowflake 100 entry list. You're going to get some double ups on some of these, so just be aware that we're going to have some repetition because we have some people doing double duty. And these are a little bit lesser names. We'll run through this one first and last just so we'll be a little bit more familiar with them as they are announced during the race itself. Austin McDonald, Blaine Rocha, Bobby Roos, Brian Schaefer, Casey Johnson, Charlie Keevan, Christopher Tullis, Connor Jones, Derek Thorne, Derek Griffith, Dylan Fetcho, Grant Thompson, Jarrett Butcher, Jet Noland, Jim Wall, John Bolin, John DeAngelis, Justin Bonnet, Kyle Jones, Kyle Plott, Michael Hind, Mike Garvey, Mike Lovell, I'm hoping it's Lovell or Lavelle, Molly Helmuth, Preston Peltier, once again, Ryan Luza, Stephen Nassy doing double duty, Stephen Chun, Trevor Christiani, Trey Mills, and Zach Telford.
Yeah, that's
telling you what.
And that's not even finished yet.
No,
so we're still 3 weeks, I guess.
Right.
3 weeks now from, and there are going to be some late entries. There are going to be some entries that are update next week, and fill in the blank. Yeah, there's
got a couple of TBAs.
Yeah, so. Exactly. And wonder about Jim with this tire situation that just released. I guess Monday night through in the group, but it's also on the fiveflagspeedway.com website. But this tire situation, is it going to accommodate all these late models?
Well, according to Five Flags, they have enough tires to allow the Snowflake and Snowball Derby teams to have 2 sets for pre-race testing, and include Snowball Derby preview, which means they get 2 sets of tires to practice on, period. So it's going to be tight. Current plans limited to 3 sets of practice tires for the Snowball Derby and the Snowflake, 2 sets of practice for Snowflake Derby cars on the weekend of the Derby itself. Outlaws, Modifieds, and Pro Stocks will be allowed 2 sets of practice tires for the event. This includes all testing, including Snowball Derby preview and any private testing. Teams will be allowed 1 set of race tires. Outlaw Modified races will be purchased and impounded the day of the race. Sportsman and Pure Stocks will be allowed 1 set of practice, 1 set of race tires. I probably won't even waste the money to buy a set of practice tires, just because I think setting the car up on old tires is one of the things that Bubba Pollard does, and that's what I do. So I think the car, you'll learn more late in the race, and because we don't change tires, so why even bother doing that? You know, I mean, if you had the money, and it'd be nice to have an extra set, but nah, I'm good.
Right.
But it's interesting that we're having to limit tires, and you know, they also been having problems with these tires coming out of the not being cured enough. They've been coming out of the mold, going straight to the racetracks. And at least we have some time in between the Derby. Maybe they'll be able to cure some of them, because we don't want right front failures, because when that happens, boy, it gets ugly and those cars get destroyed.
Right.
And we don't want to see that. So
It makes it difficult to maneuver, too. You try to pass somebody on the outside, and all of a sudden, boom, and you're both in the wall.
yeah, well, the tires were separating. So I'm just because they're not the glue or whatever they use to vulcanize. It's not set long enough. And I mean, I know my right rear from that last race was garbage. We might buy a tire and try to cure a right rear tire for the Snowball when we're out there on the 20th, just to try to do something to make that tire dig harder and live longer.
Yeah.
No soak or nothing, folks. Don't get your hopes up that you're going to catch me cheating, because it ain't going to happen.
Well, that's coming up the day after the Snowball Derby pageant downtown Pensacola at Seville Quarter. On the 20th of November, you guys are going to go out and do your Snowball Derby preview. Do you plan on running old tires? You plan on putting on new ones and kind of seeing what you do with that $200?
Nah, I don't think I'm going to have the money to do it, so I'm probably just going to have some fun. I think what we're going to do is we're going to shake my car down. We got to break the motor in. We got it fired off the other night, and boy, it sounds good. But got to get it broke in and then change oil and then make a couple of good hard runs. And if the car's comfortable, it's going on the trailer. My teammate's going to come out and run some laps. And so we're going to work with him and help Ben Cranford also on the 20th to try to get him a little faster. And then just enjoy the day, man, just being around my people and watching cars go around. And while I'm thinking about it, I got to thank 2 buddies of yours that are friends of mine that are helping us out at the Snowball this year, bought us a set of tires and paid my entry fee. Mark McCharge and Jackie Clement, both from Houma, Louisiana, good friends of yours. And that's how I met them. And they offered to buy me some tires this year and pay my entry fee. And man, their other buddy, Neil, bought us a jack this year, and Neil's going to come down and crew with us at the Derby. And I think Jackie and Mark are actually going to be in the pits at the Snowball and hang out with us. So that'll be cool to have them down there. Maybe we can get them in Victory Lane.
Yeah, that'd be a great idea. That's those guys have been, with short track racing, and they're short track guys, podcast fans and listeners. So we appreciate everything they've done for you and me in the past, but we look forward to seeing them in the Derby, because I know they come and they have a large time.
Oh, yeah. They bring that big motorhome, and Jackie cooks. Oh, Jackie had a business called Jackie's Jambalaya. I'm going to tell you something. When that man comes out and says he's going to cook, you're coming to the motorhome, I guarantee you, because you do not want to miss that man's food.
Absolutely.
Awesome eats. Awesome eats. Great people, too. Just fun people to sit and have a conversation with. Yeah. All 3 of them. So we're looking forward to that, and I think Derby's going to be a blast.
Oh, yeah.
And it's going to start off, really, we have an update on Tuesday, November 30th at Hooters. Which is Snowball Derby is presented by Hooters. Pensacola Beach would be the kickoff party.
Awesome deal.
Yeah, down on Pensacola Beach, which is an absolute beautiful place to have a kickoff party of any kind, whether it be in a short track race or a parade. Doesn't matter. Pensacola Beach is where it's at.
That's it.
If it involves Hooters girls,
Hooters girls, and some beer and some wings. Heck yeah! Oh yeah. Yes, sir.
Yep. So that's
racing. So 3 of my favorite things.
Yeah, that's the update on Tuesday at Hooters Pensacola Beach on a kickoff party. Then Wednesday at 6:00, the Green Flag Party at the track. We got music by Muskogee Bridge, which will be the qualifying draw too, which is always a crowd pleaser, because you've got a lot of drivers that come in, get on the stage. They'll draw for their qualifying order. And then we got chili for charity, which is, I hope it's like 20 degrees, because the chili they do out there is just unbelievable. It's over the top good.
It
and
is
it's
delicious.
even better.
Amazing.
It's even better when it's like really, really cold.
Yes.
You know, and I'm sure they'll have some adult beverages out there.
Yep.
Down on the front straightaway with music after the drawing or during the drawing or, vice versa. But
Sometimes
really,
the entertainment is even better on the front stretch after they've had a few.
yeah, exactly.
Watching some of these people act a fool, yeah. Even Bubba Pollard gets out there and has a good time. He even gets out there and dances.
That's it.
Yeah.
Well, what sucks is those nights we can't drink because I got to drive my hauler down. We're staged at the fairgrounds that night. As soon as the party's over, we go down there and they bring us down and line us up in the parking lot so we can go down in the pits the next morning. So it's no alcohol for old Jimbo.
Yeah. And speaking of the next morning, which would be Thursday, the Pro Truck 50, the Sportsman 50, and the Pure Stock 35. And that's going to really open up Thursday Snowball week. Tuesday, yes. Wednesday, yes. But Thursday's really when
The cars hit the racetrack.
The cars hit the racetrack, and I want to bring up something particularly for the sportsman division, and this is going to be between the three of us here at Short Track Guys Podcast. I've seen on different sites they have a sportsman class and they have a sportsman class. Okay, I said it two different ways, but you don't know that until I say this. But is it sportsmen or is it sportsman?
Oh, well, coming from a strictly grammatical sort of thing, sportsmen with an E is the multiple.
Well, we can't be. That's also politically incorrect because suppose we have a woman driving in the class. How can we be sportsmen?
It's going to be the
funny,
sports person.
Sports person class. Yeah, yeah.
No.
Yeah, no, but sportsman with an E is the way to do it. It's sportsman doesn't work. It should be sportsman. Just like when you're talking about somebody that's a hunter, that's a sportsman. That's the way it works. So that's going to be my end on that deal, and that's the way it's going to be. And if you don't like it, hey.
Okay, so the 07 Sportsman champion.
That's right.
Is with an EN.
Yes.
With an EN, that's right.
Ted, what say you?
I say the same thing. It's got to be the E because man is individual, singular, and we can't have it like that.
Okay. Okay, so there you have it. It is Sportsmen, MEN division. And that's where we're going to keep it here at Short Track Guys Podcast, and that's the way it's going to be from here on out.
We have spoken.
I'm glad
what do we know?
I'm glad we cleared that up. So,
Yes.
Well, that takes us through the Snowball Derbies with the entry update, the tire situation, the Snowball Derby pageant downtown Pensacola, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then opening night with cars on the track, trucks on the track. We're going to move into some of the things that happened this past weekend, and maybe. Well, not maybe, but some things that are going to happen this weekend prior to the Snowball Derby, which we have a list of drivers that are really just coming down to participate in the Governor's Cup. And I don't want to give too much away about that right now, but we're gonna go back up to Montgomery in the Show Me the Money Pro Late Model Series, and we had the Modifieds of Mayhem that was this past weekend. And man, I'm telling you what. Modifieds of Mayhem, we've talked about the Ground Pounders, which are, the Modifieds. Augie Grill just kind of took care of business up there. He knows Montgomery.
He does that.
Well, Augie knows those Modifieds, too. He drives with an egg under his foot, and he can get the job done, I'm telling you. Augie's the best. He's a two-time Snowball Derby winner, by the way, Augie Grill.
Yes.
Been a bunch of modified races.
Yeah, Augie Grill takes. I mean, really, it wasn't close. I mean, he had a couple of late restarts and just was on spot and took off and got the win. Bill Burba finished second.
He's leading the points right now.
Bill Burba won the championship.
Did he finally win it? Good deal.
Yeah,
I'd like to see somebody different win a championship.
Yeah, that was the Modifieds of Mayhem finale, and Max McDonald actually finished third, but Bill Burba was challenging Augie, but then there's late restarts. It was just all Augie for sure.
Well, you ain't gonna rattle Augie Grill no matter what you do. You can pick his back tires off the ground. He's still gonna drop the thing down and drive away from you. So
well, and then he turned right around and got out of the modified and got in his Pro Late model and ended up finishing sixth in the Show Me the Money series. In Montgomery, Jet Nolan in the Anthony Campy Racing number 81 ended up winning his back-to-back Show Me the Money Pro Late Model Series races, but it was Christopher Tullis that ended up winning the championship with Hudson Holder.
Hudson Holder, yeah.
Yeah, and Jordan McCollum And, of course, Augie Grill finishing 6th. And Harrison Holder. I guess they had the Holder family there.
They both tried to make the Derby last year, I think. One of them in one car, one in the other, and I think one of them crashed in the last chance race and didn't make it. But that Hudson Holder's he's pretty good. I've heard a lot of good things about him from my friends, the Ginzes. He's from up in the Midwest, and the dude's got a ton of talent. He's just doing pretty good.
Holt, Hudson, and Harrison. So watch out for either
The
all three of those or
The
one of them.
Triple H.
Triple H.
Yeah, then JoJo Wilkinson finished 13th, Justin Bonnet with 14th, John Bolin and Grant Thompson 16th and 18th. But you're going to see those a lot of those drivers, if not all of them, down here for the Snowflake, and a few of them for the Derby too.
Definitely.
Yeah, be a good show. Like I said, that Christopher Tullius, he's due for a big win. He's won one in Montgomery last year, I think, but he's due for a big win. He's really good. And Hudson Halder's another one that's due for a breakout win. So it's going to be pretty interesting.
Yeah, and we got 2021 Duel in the Desert. Now we're gonna kind of switch off the asphalt thing and go dirt side. With the Duel in the Desert, particularly by XR. If you watch Facebook, you've got a watch page. You can see XR on there. They've got a lot of updates for a lot of these races, and I just happened to pick up on one of them. We like to venture off sometimes out of the late model scene and go into the dirt tracks. We go to Alaska, we go to Canada, we do some of these dirt tracks, and the 2021 Duel in the Desert, which is happening this week through this weekend. Friday and Saturday night is a big late model race with IMCA stock cars, IMCA late models, and then it's a big event, and we're trying to get a hold of one of the drivers in the street stocks, and which Jim's has said that they're not really street stocks. They're would you say a different kind of frame with a different body?
There's a few stock parts, not very many. I think stock lower. Not only that, I think they got to run stock lower control arms anymore. It's pretty much they look like an '88 Monte Carlo, but they're not an '88 Monte Carlo.
Right.
But they're neat, and they're actually IMCA stock cars have done a really good job of keeping the costs where, they'll have a race and 60 cars will show up. So, they do, IMCA does a great job of keeping costs down and keeping it in the hands of the drivers.
And we've reached out to one of the IMCA stock car drivers, the 88H, Bo Hutchinson. He's from Layton, Utah, and I saw a little bit of an interview with him, and he's in Las Vegas, and he said some of his local tracks he has to drive 2.5, 3 hours just to haul his car down to make an event. It's not like locally you can go an hour and a half and hit 3 different tracks. He's really getting on the road with his team, and so we reached out to him, and he's out there in the duel. He finished 6th last night in one of his heats. And I guess so they go through a qualifying process to make the show, and he made a comment that he didn't quite make the show last year, but he wanted to come back and try it again. So we're going to try to get him on the phone, if not next Wednesday, but maybe the following Wednesday, if we can, hook up with him, and just he's a really cool guy, really humble, and just like to have all our listeners learn a little bit more about his racing's history.
Be an interesting conversation. No doubt.
Yeah.
Definitely. And like I said, that tow in 2 hours, I've done it before. It takes dedication to want to get in a truck after working a long, hard day at work, drive 2 hours, climb in a race car to a dirty dirt track, get all nasty and grimy, and get back in the truck and drive home. It can be taxing on somebody, but if you love the sport the way we do, you'd be willing to do it.
Yeah. And then Friday night, they've got a 40-lap Super Late model with $25,000 to win. And then Saturday is a 77-lap. 50,000 to win. I think what I have understood by reading is that there's a potential winner of $100,000 for the weekend, and I don't know if that's just the late models or if it's any of the divisions. But I'm going to say it's the dirt late models.
Probably so. Yeah, they've got the dream that pays $100,000.
Well, that's the Duel in the Desert out in Las Vegas, the dirt track at Las Vegas. We look forward to catching up on the results next week, and hopefully maybe have. If not Bo, then maybe somebody in that event that can come on and give us a little background of what they're doing and how they do it. We look forward to that. And speaking of something that's coming up, and it's not happening now, but it's going to come up here this weekend, is the Governor's Cup here at New Smyrna down in Florida. the 56th annual Florida Governor's Cup at New Smyrna Speedway. The entry list now, we finally can say Donnie Wilson will be behind the wheel.
Oh, cool.
That'll be fun.
Of one of many of his cars that he's got out there with Caden Honeycutt and Sammy Smith and Chandler Smith and Eric Jones, Justin Drawdy, Jeff Chiquette, all these guys down at New Smyrna. I mean, it's a long history, but it's just a big race.
Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah. I mean, guys like Gary Ballou have won the Governor's Cup before. I mean, there's a lot of big names that have won that, and that's David Rogers has been a Governor's Cup champion. God rest his soul.
Yep.
Those guys, man, and that's a tough racetrack. It's fast.
Yeah.
I would love to run on it. Once they say you carry so much speed off in the corner that you better hope you make the turn, because if not, it's going to hurt.
The king of short track racing, Dick Anderson's won it.
Oh God, yeah, Wayne Anderson, his son, won it a couple times. I'm sure.
Bobby Gill, David Rogers, Eric Jones, Augie Grill, Ty Majeski, Jeff Chiquette, Matt Craig, Bubba Pollard. I mean, you name it.
Right.
Yeah. Bubba Pollard did it, and didn't he drive David Rogers' car?
Last year, yeah.
And he drove for David Rogers. I've got a cool picture on my phone of him kneeling down talking to David Rogers before he got healed up, and then came here and David Rogers ran the Derby, and it was his last race. You know, hate to miss a guy like that. You know, he was always a staple at Five Flag Speedway.
Yeah, that's the 56th annual Florida Governor's Cup down in New Smyrna Speedway this weekend, and we're going to touch on that next week with the results. And you guys can keep up with either us on our podcast website, on Facebook. We'll have results, we'll have highlights, we'll have news. Just stay in touch, leave us comments, and let us know if we're missing anything, or let us know something.
Yeah. I tell you, I'd like to give a shout out to two short track guys. I know we don't do NASCAR on here, but two guys that earned their way up there. They didn't have granddaddy's money or mama's money. Mm-hmm. Kyle Larson, for being the Cup champion, the dude has won a crap ton of short track, over 30 short track races. He's won, like I saw somewhere today, it was like almost 50% of all the races he's entered this year. That's insane. And he won some of the biggest ones, the Kings Royal, the Knoxville Nationals.
The Chili Bowl.
Right. He won that big dirt late model race. I can't think of the name of the track, but Furberry. He won that one, and now he's a Cup champion and won 10 races plus the All-Star race. Kudos to you, my friend, and you being run off last year. It's payback for that. Congratulations,
karma.
Yeah, I'm a fan of Kyle Larson. I have been because he came from nothing.
Right.
And the other guy who's the Xfinity champion, our buddy.
Daniel
Hemrick, who's raced short track, started with nothing, worked his way where he's at, got the Cup and didn't do so well, moved back down, and he won the championship on a last lap pass of a rich kid, Cindric.
Austin
Cindric, who's going to be driving in Cup next year because his daddy is vice president of Penske Motorsports. And they asked a good guy like Matt DiBenedetto for this clown. And that's my opinion. But congratulations to Daniel Hemrick. We've seen him race at Five Flags. He's won the All-American 400.
I've seen him at Mobile.
He's raced in Mobile. He's raced all over the Southeast, did whatever he could do, and he made it where he is because he is a short track racer, and we are short track guys, and we love to see short track guys make it big.
Oh, it's like seeing that number 98 blue stripe, the white stripe.
Carswell late model. Yeah, they didn't have a lot of sponsorship, but always ran up front. The Carswells always had money in their cars.
Yeah.
They always had good equipment.
Got a late model hot shoe behind that back in the day, too, with Jody Ridley.
I think that's one of the reasons why I was number 98.
Yeah, I believe so. Jody Ridley was number 98, so
yes.
that's absolutely the truth.
Snowball Derby winner, Jody Ridley.
Yes. Correct.
I remember he did it in a car he called Henry the Ford.
Yeah.
He said, I named this car Henry. It was a late model. I'll never forget because it was rusty. He didn't paint the chassis. He said paint adds weight. That was his big thing. It was a rusty looking chassis, but it wasn't painted. But he won with it. So,
well, speaking of the Xfinity and NASCAR Cup with Daniel Hemrick and Kyle Larson, we can't forget Ben Rhodes winning the Truck Series championship. And if you've seen his interview at the end,
awesome.
He was absolutely trashed.
Hammered.
He was hammered, and his agent or somebody came up and took the beer away from him and put a bottle of water in front of him, and he started like, no, don't take my bud from me.
You know what was funny is it reminds me when Brad Keselowski won the Cup championship, he was hammered. He's standing looking,
spoof bird.
Hey, Dave, he's doing a thing with Dave Despain. He's like, yeah, there's a bunch of pretty girls over here in this kiosk, and there's more beer, so I'm going over there. And he just drops the microphone, takes the headset off, and just walks away. I'm like, dude, that celebrate. I love that. I love the way Kyle Larson's wife will shotgun a beer in Victory Lane because it's real. Those are real people. They're not the Jeff Gordons and the Jimmy Johnsons who live in the big houses and act like they're not anybody special. They act bigger than what they actually are. That's just my opinion. You know, those guys act like they're bigger and whatever, but to love somebody like Kyle Larson or Daniel Hemrick or Ben Rhodes to have a good time in Victory Lane, don't be politically correct. Enjoy yourself.
Right.
Have a good time.
You've worked for it. Come on.
Dang right.
Kick back and
Ben Rhodes won Daytona, and then they struggled all year long, and he made the championship, and here he is, the champion. And I mean, if you've seen the in-car from Kyle Larson's car and he's riding around with the flag, you just see the tears just start running down his face. Because, I mean, he's sitting there thinking to himself, you know, he said today on a podcast I listened to that he never thought he'd ever be a Cup champion. He said, I think I'd win some races, but I never thought we'd ever get this far. And he said, I got to thank Mr. Hendrick because, I mean, Rick Hendrick took a chance.
Yes.
And put him in a car. And, you know, what's really cool is that 5 car has been a previous champion with Terry Labonte, but that's the number that Ricky Hendrick ran.
Right.
Same paint scheme. That's big for Mr. H. You know, I got to give Rick Hendrick props, man. He's done a great job for our sport. And, you know, just to help that kid out, hey, let's give him a chance. Because Jeff Gordon went to him and said, look, we need to hire this guy. He's good. And he proved it. Cup champion. Short track guy, Cup champion.
Yep.
Continues to be a short track guy.
Round up, you know, Ben Rhodes. I loved that interview. And then Daniel Hemrick, congratulations to him. Kyle Larson, obviously, you know, with a stellar career, setting all kinds of records. And he's not done yet.
No,
I mean, this kid is going to be,
started.
I mean, just winning like from here on out. He could be, I mean, who knows, in the next 5 years, he could be on top of just everything. So just look out for that, and congratulations to the Hendrick Motorsports team. I know my oldest brother, being affiliated with Rick Hendrick at Terry Labonte Chevrolet, is very proud of Hendrick Motorsports and what they've been able to accomplish throughout the years, and much success to them in the future.
Right.
And we're going to back off of that a little bit and go to our finals at the Solid Rock Carriers Battle of the Stars coming up this weekend. And this is a guy that we had an interview with 4 or 5 episodes ago, Christian Rose, to be involved with this race at Goodyear All-American Speedway this Sunday, November 14th, 150 lap, 10,000 to win late model race with Josh Berry, which we all know Josh Berry's got full-time Xfinity ride next year, and Caden Honeycutt coming in for the 8 car, the Cars Tour. And then Tate Fogelman. We know Tate Fogelman won the truck race here in Talladega not a month ago.
Yeah.
And Chad McCumbee, Justin Johnson, Zach Lightfoot, and, of course, Christian Rhodes with Visit West Virginia, number 41. I think it's the number 41 late model in Jacksonville, North Carolina. And, you know, we're going to keep up with that, too, and hopefully we get Christian back on. And,
Yeah, good luck, Christian. We hope you get you a W, man. I got faith in you. You get her done.
Yeah, Short Track Guys podcast here. Wish you all the best, and we'll keep up with that. And hopefully we get back in touch with you and catch up, see what you got going on, and see what your plans are for 2022. And guys, you know, it's always a pleasure to get with you and talk short track racing and all the excitement and everything that's past, present, and future. Any last thoughts before we sign off and say we'll see you next Wednesday?
Well, this Saturday at Five Flag Speedway, they're going to have a car show. I'm going to bring out the 07 track championship winning automobile, and we're going to just enter it in the show just to have some fun. And y'all come out there and support. It's for cancer, so it's for a good cause. So come out and support that car show, and let's have some fun.
That's what it's all about, having fun.
Ted, no video equipment this week?
No, I don't have any upgrades or updates as of yet. There are probably going to be some coming up pretty soon, though. I think I'm going to have to increase my stable of in-cars.
All right, guys.
What I see.
Well, as always, it's a pleasure, and thank you all for listening. Thank you for your support. As always, you know, your support is our motivation, and that's why we keep doing this, because we love short track racing, and we love racing in general. And being in the house in the studio with a video producer and a track champion, I mean, how much better can it get?
That's it. Let's get her done.
Great.
All right, guys. 10-4. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you guys next week.
All right, we'll be here.
Let's go, Brandon.